Okay, so we went to the grocery as you went with me and you saw some of the stuff that we got. I also got this miso cup. It's just, I usually get the paste, but I wanted to try this. This is an instant kind of miso, but everything is pretty good. I can see here, dried miso, water, soybean rice, some salt, soybean, koji, cultures, and seaweed and green onions. So I'm going to try a miso soup with this. Of course, you can always get the paste and then we'll do some more stuff. But this is a cabbage broth type miso soup with some greens. And all I'm going to do, it says just to kind of wait for the water to boil a little bit. So I put 2 cups already. I'm going to do 4 cups of water. And then we're going to chop the cabbage. Let me just put the camera here correctly so you can see. Hopefully it's easy. We'll see. So we're going to chop some cabbage here. This is some kale and some cilantro that I'm going to add later to keep it as raw as possible. Once the soup is hot or warm, then I'll put this in the plate and you guys will see that and how I do it, so it keeps most of its nutrients intact. So the cabbage I will put in the water while it warms up. So this is a bit of cabbage. Maybe it's a little big, but you can do it smaller if you want. Smaller size bits of cabbage, okay? And then I got my tofu, which is in flax oil. And I'm going to cut some pieces of that. Add it a little later as well. And then I'm going to chop, this is some cilantro and celery. I mean, no, not celery, it's cilantro and kale. I usually put some celery in there, but today it's the kale and the cilantro just to add a little taste to it. And this I will put later on. I'm going to start with my plate here. And this plate will be waiting for the warm miso to come in, and then it'll take it in. All right, so let's go warm it up. All right, so here's the cabbage. It's pretty warmed up, really nice. You can see a little bit of smoke coming out, and I'm going to add the miso from Edward and Sons. This is at Whole Foods or PCC, and then you can get this little pouches. We'll see. I've always done the paste, so it's really my first time with a powdered kind miso. It says savory soup with seaweed. So this one has seaweed. There was a simple one there without anything and just the miso paste basically, but I did the seaweed. And I might even add some seaweed. I sometimes add pieces of seaweed. So here it is. Stir it up. We're going to add some tofu that we cut. Ready? And there it is. Looking good. All right. Okay, so here it is. Cabbage, the miso, the whole 9 yards, and then we're going to go ahead and just pour it on the kale and the cilantro. There you go. So there it is. And I got some seaweed as well. You don't have to do this, but this is just dried seaweed that you can get again at any Whole Food store or maybe PCC or any natural store where they have all kinds of dolce and all kinds of other seaweed. So it looks very greeny brown, but it seems to be pretty delicious. The smell of it is pretty nice. So I'm going to try it soon. I also have the other part of my lunch, which is an avocado with some nice organic tomatoes, different colors. I use tahini. This is my very favorite thing in the universe. But to make it healthier, just some pepper and some paprika is delicious. Paprika really has a lot of great components to it for the body and for cleansing. It really does help your organs in general. So we'll talk about paprika or paprika next time. So no paprika today, but I'm going to do my chili powder, which is basically sea salt and chili powder. And I use it for watermelon, I use it for melons, I use it for everything. And then some flax oil I'm going to do, because this is a very good oil. We're going to do it on both here. And then, of course, my trusty lemon friend, which is my favorite thing to do with most fruits and veggies. So that will be the miso soup with the tofu, the cilantro, the kale, and then I will have my avocado and for fat, a little bit of fat, and because the miso is pretty soft, although it does have cabbage and kale and all kinds of delicious things. And we're going to taste it now. Okay, so here goes nothing. Here's a review. A lot of delicious stuff. Let's see. It's really good. I don't know, it's a little weaker than my normal paste, the brown miso soup paste. I mean brown rice miso soup paste. But it's soft and delicious. Try it with a little bit of something else, a little fat, whatever you do, rice, brown rice, or avocados as I'm doing. It's not a bad combination of things. This one's seaweed. I can taste my seaweed. I don't know if it tastes much like seaweed, the soup, but I put some extra seaweed in there. So it tastes really fishy and good. You can also do the normal, the basic miso pouch with no seaweed and do your tofu, or do the green chives. This one has, again, cabbage, kale, cilantro. At the end, you just leave the kale and the cilantro at the end with this warm soup to combine, so you don't lose all those delicious green nutrients. And the cabbage was part of the broth, so we did the broth for about 5 minutes with the cabbage, and then added the miso pouch, and it was pretty good. It's a pretty good soup. I don't know if I'm gonna change yet, but it's a good product, and I hope you try it. And we're starting the no fish, all mostly raw food